Welcome back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where we're still waiting to hear from Pep Guardiola, whose side suffered their 6th Premier League defeat of the season this afternoon here by 2-0. He's never had more defeats in a league campaign anywhere. That gap is at 22 points. Is there an argument, Graeme, that this is now becoming Pep Guardiola's biggest ever challenge as a manager?
Well, you would have said that at the start of the season, would you? I think you can trace it back to the start of the season. I mean, the Vincent Kompany situation, was that sprung on them, or did they know that was coming? If they knew it was coming, well, you didn't know your best partnership, central partnership, and you're going to buy another fullback in Cancelo. I think that's come back to haunt them, because you're taking your mainstay out of midfield, your best holding midfield player, and you put them in the back, which makes the back okay, but it doesn't make it weakens the midfield. So I think that's causing a major issue. I think up front, Aguero's goals are still there. I think in the wider areas, yeah, there's enough there. I think, although Raheem's gone off the boil a wee bit, in the centre of midfield, David Silva's going, Bernardo Silva comes in there, and Gundogan's a good player, and of course they've got the best one of all, in De Bruyne. I think, looking at it, everyone fit, you certainly need another centre-half, in my opinion. I think you'll be looking, given Aguero's age, you've got time to look at. I think there's still another year in Aguero at this level, and maybe looking to get a big one in there that could fill his boots. Whether Jesus can long term, not so sure, but I don't see City being in a crisis. You can't. No. I mean, some of the football today was sensational.
Breathtaking.
Sensational.
They're still in 3 cup competitions as well. Could they clean up there?
Yeah, well, this is what I was going to say. We're talking about challenges, and I think it shows the level of management and success that he's had. Is that still in the Champions League in the final of the Carabao Cup, and are probably going to be. I was about to say pipped, but I don't think that's the correct terminology, because they're up against a magnificent sort of machine. In Liverpool, and could finish second in the division. So I think that's the challenges is that the expectations of Pep and his team are so high. It's keeping that level for as many years as you can. And what they have had is that they've had a more difficult season this season. I think the inconsistencies in the team have been really at centre-half. I think in every other position, maybe the left-back position, they've been fairly consistent in the teams that they've put out. I think they've put strong teams out in most games. But as Liverpool have done extremely well over the last few seasons, where I think they've added to the group and recruited to the group, then and a top-class Manchester City team, which they are, have got to continue to do that.
See, if you're sitting here 12 months ago, the scenario was you got the City team going to win it again, City team that could win the Champions League, everything's right in the garden. And within 12 months, are we saying everything's wrong in the garden? No, it's not. Like City have got some outstanding players. Really, truly world-class players. And again, with a little bit of tweaking, Liverpool a year ago now were the nearly team couldn't get past the post. Now Liverpool, the team have won the Champions League, and they're running away with this league like it's never been seen. No one's done that before to this extent. So all of a sudden, everything's right in Liverpool's garden. And that's the beauty about our game. A year from now, we might be talking about something, someone else has come along. But right now, there's not a lot wrong with City. We have to talk about it.
Trying to find reasons why, to use your words, they were wasteful in front of goal, which is not something that we associate with City or have done for the last 3 seasons or more. Could it be that their concentration is elsewhere already?
No, it doesn't work like that. When you're a player and you go out and you cross the white line, stadium, how could you not want to play here? Atmospheric stadium. You go out there. These are big players, and part of the reason it makes them, one of the things that makes you a big player is you want to win every single game you play in, and you hate losing, and you hate losing a challenge, you hate losing a race, you hate losing a header. And these are big players that are serial winners, and they will hate themselves today, but they'll, in the cold light of day, they'll think it was just one of those days. And as a true pro, you hate to say that, just one of those days, because you're always looking, there must be a reason for it.
But they'll have ups and downs. We spoke before the game about Sterling, and I think he hasn't scored for 8 games now. So in a period of time where they're still playing at the level that they're playing, you know, you're capable of having them one or two individuals that are not playing at their best.
Where do you think they should strengthen? Where do you think, you know, looking at them, not today, but over this season?
Well, certainly Foden will come into that midfield group, I think, next season, who's a magnificent. I would say that there isn't too much with what they've got at the moment. The inconsistencies have been at centre half. You know, I think they've and probably at a left back where they've, you know, chopped and changed a little bit. You know, do they need that more competition up front? Well, they've got the natural one in Jesus. Aguero, I think, is still at a level where, surprisingly for him, he's probably missed 2 chances, one in particular that you would expect him to score. But you would still say that they've got that type of quality there. Mahrez is playing more games than before. I think that in some ways they've missed Sane for what he gives them. I think in that
back
natural,
in a couple of weeks, I understand.
Yeah, that natural speed and you know, if, you know, providing he's there next season, which I think we presume he's going to be, you know, that's almost going to be like another addition. So probably for me, in that centre half position, but I think they've got so much character and strength to go again.